Hey traders, welcome back to another daily profit and loss recap video. Today is Wednesday, June 21st. I just finished up trading for the morning and I ended up with a loss of $748, two losing trades. And although it's not as fun as a nice green profitable day, in day trading there are a ton of lessons to be learned from losses. So hopefully by watching this video you can learn from my mistakes and use them to improve your own trading. Anyway, let's go ahead and get right into it. The first trade for me today was with the stock AI. If we look at the daily chart for AI, obviously this stock is related to artificial intelligence, and this entire sector or section of the stock market has been absolutely on fire lately. We've seen AI run from under $17 per share a little over a month ago all the way up to a high recently of $48.87. So it's just making higher highs and higher lows, consistently trending higher. And because of that, since we started to get a pullback over the past couple of days, AI was on my watch list and in the trade plans in the Market Master group for a potential bounce, assuming it would continue the uptrend that it's recently been forming. And while I am still overall bullish on AI, and I do believe that it is going to bounce back and continue to trend higher in the near future, I definitely didn't time my trade very well today, and that led me to, of course, take a loss on this trade. So for me at the time, what I was looking at was the fact that, again, this was in an uptrend over the past couple of weeks, and we start to see that it trades a little bit sideways here at the market open. Finally, it starts to sell off to the downside, and this was the dip that I was looking for initially to get into a trade. So once I started to see that it was forming a little bit of a higher low, right here in the 1030 area, we see that it forms this low at about 1020, bounces a bit, forms a new low, and as that new low forms, we can see it comes straight back up immediately with a nice bullish candle. It then bounces up to the $40 area, pulls back a bit, and kind of starts to trade sideways. I saw this forming, and at the time I was seeing this as the first higher low that was forming. It also was looking like a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders pattern. If we go ahead and just draw some arrows here, this would be the left shoulder, this would be the head, and this little consolidation period here would be technically the right shoulder of this move, and the neckline resistance in this case would be at about $40 per share. So I was seeing this and decided to buy into this consolidation period in the 39.80s, anticipating that it was going to be able to break out above that $40 resistance and start to push back up towards the VWAP, or at least start to push back up to the previous high, which was right here at about $40.80. So that was my thought process behind the trade. As we can see, it rejects that $40 area, starts to fade back down, and I'm forced to take a loss on this trade as it starts to break down to new lows under this low that formed previously. I ended up with a loss on that trade of $402. And if I had to take any lesson from this trade, it's that it's almost always better to wait for that confirmation, wait for the stock to clear a level of resistance that you're anticipating that it's going to break, because if it doesn't break, then you probably have a very poor entry on that trade, and you're most likely going to take a loss. So in hindsight, I should have waited for this to clear that $40 level and then got into it for a quick scalp. And I also should have been a little bit quicker to cut losses once it started to reject that $40 level. Even though this was still a relatively small loss in the grand scheme of things, I could have kept this loss even smaller because that $40 rejection was definitely a bearish sign for the stock. Okay, so moving on to the next trade, this was MGOL. MGOL was a nice runner the previous day. If we take a look down here at the daily chart and we just kind of block out today's candlestick, we can see that over the past couple of weeks, we've had this wedge or this pennant that was forming. And yesterday, we finally see the stock break out from that pennant with a nice spike up in volume. And it's able to close above that 260 level, which has been a bit of resistance in the past couple of weeks. So to me, this was a really solid setup for a continuation. I would have liked to have seen it open slightly in the green, maybe have a small gap up, pull back to that 260 level, hold it as support, and then bounce back up and start pushing to new highs. That was ideally what I was looking for, but it ended up having a small gap down. And we can see if we zoom into the 1 minute chart here, it starts to have a really bullish reaction from that gap down at the market open, starts to recover, goes red to green, and I decided to buy into that red to green move. Initially, it had a nice little move in my favor. I could have locked in some profits on this trade, but I was looking for it to get back up to the previous day's high, which was $2.84, and it just didn't get quite there. So I didn't lock in profits on this trade, and I ended up selling for a loss as it started to pull back and break down under the morning low. On that trade, I ended up with a $346 loss, which ended up taking my total loss for the day to $748. So if you've been watching these profit and loss recap videos, you can probably tell that $748 is not the end of the world, and realistically at the end of the day there really was no solid setups that I was really into this morning, so taking a couple relatively small losses and deciding to call it a day was probably in my best interest, and hopefully we'll have some better setups tomorrow to recover this loss and make some really solid profits. But anyway, those were my main focuses and my trades for the day. Hopefully you found some value in this video and you learned a thing or two from the losses that I took. And if you did, please make sure to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I do these daily profit and loss recap videos every single day, whether it's a profitable day or a losing day. And if you subscribe, it's going to help make sure you don't miss out on these future videos. Also, if you want to hear about the stocks that I'm trading in real time and you want to work with our team of traders and watch our live scanner streams, there's going to be a link down below in the description to come join us in the Market Master group. Anyway, thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and good luck with your trading.